Welcome
to Munda Make Over.
We have traveled all over Zambia to find hardworking farmers.
We want to share their success stories.
And where there are challenges, we will bring experts to help them gain the extra knowledge they need.
So they can adapt and make their farms more productive even while the climate changes.
We want to support them to get better yields
and increase their income.
We will see how farmers from across the country can benefit from our experts' advice,
while also learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experiences as they improve their farms.
On Munda Make Over! Hey Vikacha, where are we?
We're somewhere in Luapula province, Nchelenge to be specific.
Aren't you scared, Vikacha?
There is no way I can be scared, Cozy. I know you want to trap me, but I'm not here for that. Our farmer for this week has got an interesting story.
Indeed, a retired fisherman who decided to start farming for business purposes. Aren't you excited, Vikacha?
I am excited about the retired general. Let's do this!
This week, we're in Luapula province and we're visiting John Moa.
Despite how beautiful and vast these waters are, our farmer left all that to focus on the dream of farming. And he has no regrets.
Before I started farming, I was a fisherman. I advise some people to join farming because in farming there is more profit than fishing.
Together with his lovely wife, they run the farm to support their family.
John Muwa's farm covers 5 hectares. His main crops are cassava, maize, and orange-fleshed sweet potatoes.
Let's go meet him. Oh, there's our farmer. Hello! How are you?
I'm fine and how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
My name is Vikacha.
And my name is Kozi.
My name is John Moa.
It's a beautiful place to be. Thank you for having us here at your home. So, how can we help you?
You can help me in cassava. There is some disease.
Ah, okay. All right. And what else can we help you with?
About marketing. When we harvest cassava, we thought I will market how to sell it.
Market as well.
Okay. We have the right people just for you. So we are going to go get the experts and come back to sort out those problems.
Is that okay?
I will be happy.
Okay.
See you, Mr.
Fantastic.
Moa.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
When I heard that Munda Make Over is coming to my farm, I was very happy because I know that team is coming to give me more knowledge.
John Moa is big on cassava, and top of his list of problems is disease and finding market. Let's first deal with the disease because, with a good crop, there's an even better market.
Matthias Tembo from Plant Village in Zari is already here to assess John's cassava field. He says that he has also brought along another expert that can remain and live with John in his farm to help him out whenever he gets in trouble with his cassava. Wow, interesting. Live here in the farm with John? Okay, but I can't see anyone else with him. I'm sure I'm not going blind, am I? Let's go and ask him.
There is an application which we're calling the Plant Village App.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
So this app is a digital tool, artificial intelligence tool, that is going to assist farmers to easily identify the disease in the field.
Okay.
The good part about this app is that after identifying the disease, within the system, it has embedded experts that provide advice. So you have real-time advice provided to you on how to manage that disease.
The Extra Expert is an app by Plant Village. I'm sure John was worried what he was going to feed this expert living with him throughout the season. But all he needs to do is buy a simple smartphone. Then he needs to download, install the Plant Village app on his smartphone and register for free. All right, I can't wait to see the app at work. Let's try it now.
Now let's look at 3 leaves from the bottom of the plant. When you show me the leaf, please hold the phone so you can see the whole leaf and be sure the leaf is in focus. It may be easier to focus if you hold your hand behind the leaf. Please show me the first leaf that does not look healthy. Press start when the leaf is in focus. Please show me the second leaf that does not look healthy. Press start when the leaf is in focus. Please show me the third leaf that does not look healthy. Press start when the leaf is in focus. We detected the following issues with your plant. CMD, CBSD. Would you like to get advice on managing your plant? Thanks for taking a survey.
Wow, that's simple. Now we know some of the cassava is infected with cassava mosaic disease, CMD, and it can only be controlled by using certified clean planting materials. Our farmer is lucky because even in Luapula, he can get a variety called Mweru that is clean, early maturing, and disease tolerant. So, remember farmers, in your cassava field, scan at least 3 cassava leaves per plant if you suspect that your field has been affected by a disease. The app gives you an option to have more information about the detected disease so that you know the right steps to take and control the disease. But does the Plant Village app only help in cassava?
Not just cassava, but also, you know, maize is one of the major staple crop in Zambia.
Yeah, it's one of the crops is growing.
Yes, yes. And maize is being affected by the maize fall armyworm. So this app is also able to identify and detect the maize fall armyworm.
Nice.
When we come to sweet potatoes,
Yeah,
crops like coffee,
yeah,
Irish potato,
yeah.
Plant Village app is working.
Wow.
The farmers don't know about this. So when they use this app, they detect and they are provided with advice on how to mitigate and manage these diseases.
Nice.
This Plant Village app will sort John on all the crops he's growing: cassava, maize, and sweet potatoes.
What type of disease can rot the roots of cassava?
Cassava brown stick disease is one of the diseases that causes rotting of the roots.
Okay.
Now, the rotting that is caused by cassava brown stick disease is hard. It's not softer.
Okay.
The other type of rotting, very soft, watery, and smelly. Yeah, that type of rotting is caused by what we're calling the traditional farmer practices that farmers are using. In Bemba, they call it tukusongela.
So, farmers, even with the Plant Village app in your home, you need to practice good agricultural methods, especially with the climate change. Grow cassava on ridges so that when it rains so much, your cassava doesn't rot. Use new varieties that are early maturing and tolerant to disease, and observe the right spacing. Avoid harvesting cassava in bits, whereby some farmers harvest the big roots in a plant and leave the smaller ones to continue growing. This is because during harvesting, some plants get injured and bacteria or fungus in the soil finds a way into the plant and the roots start rotting. So, it's good to harvest the whole plant at once. Farmers in Luapula province who want to plant cassava can purchase certified improved variety called Mweru from Sunbird Farm in Kawambwa.
Now that expert visited my farm, I'll be a better farmer and increase my yield.
So now we know how to take care of our cassava, it's time to look for markets.
But Plant Village is also interested on how cassava farmers can get good markets, so they have partnered with organizations like Musa, who have a link to Zambian Breweries to provide direct markets to farmers.
Small-scale farmers are always disadvantaged when it comes to access to market for their cassava. Today, I have come to meet with some experts about market access so that we can help our farmer. Musa is a market systems development organization that's invested in ensuring that smallholder farmers participate in inclusive markets. Mukukankunde, head of knowledge management at Musa, has good news for our farmer.
So Musika in 4 Zambian languages means market.
Perfect.
Yes.
The right place.
Yeah.
Musika partners with various market actors, such as Zambian Breweries, and gives them incentives to work with farmers like John Moa, establishing a working relationship between the farmer and market actors that is lucrative and sustainable.
How is Mr. Moa going to now become a beneficiary of this partnership that Musika has with Zambian Breweries?
So initially Zambian breweries would just trade. They would buy from farmer and go away about their business. But now we have ensured that every private sector we work with goes into their businesses, things that farmers like Mr. Moa need. Things like access to finance, access to mobile platforms, which they have, things like access to markets, things like access to extension. So how you do that, you prove to the business that building these things into your trade are going to actually prove what kind of crop you get from the farmer. So it's a win-win situation. Since 2012, we've worked with over 412,000 farmers.
Wow.
And I just want to stress that the population of smallholder farmers in Zambia is 1.6 million, so we're near half. Yeah.
Wow! 412,000 farmers with a ready market. We need to add our farmer John to that list. An expert from Zambian Breweries will meet me at the farm so that we can learn more. Today, we leave no leaf unturned. We have decided to follow the chain to ensure John gets what he wants. Elias Walia from Zambian Breweries is already on the ground to see how we can help John sell his cassava with ease. How can Mr. John take steps to start to benefit from what Zambian Breweries are doing with farmers?
So I'm happy that you already have access to one of the improved varieties, Mr. John. That was Mweru.
Fantastic.
Yes, one thing I think that I would be happy for you to have access to is better production practices in form of land preparations.
Right.
I'm happy you were able to, make those nice big ridges and obviously plant the 25 to 30 centimeter stem cuttings. But I feel plant population per hectare is also very important. So from your field, I did notice that you were spacing your ridges quite too much. Yes, and so you can agree with me, Mr. John, that on average, the small-scale farmers normally, hover around the 7 to 10 tons per hectare. Right. Yes, we are obviously talking about business here, so you want to maximize yields. And obviously that comes with you investing in good agricultural practices. When we talk about the plant population per hectare, which is supposed to give you the yield that is claimed for a variety like Mweru, you may not achieve that.
What does that yield look like? What are the numbers supposed to be?
If I speak in form of dry chips, we are talking about 15 to 20 tons per hectare.
For John to get as much yield as he can out of his field, one of the key things that he needs to observe is the right spacing. The ridges should be 1 meter apart, and from plant to plant is also 1 meter.
Zambian Breweries works with cooperatives. So we identify farmer cooperatives through which we are able to teach these technical skills on agriculture. It would be so beneficial if you had access to one of the cooperatives, so that you are able to not just supply the crop to Zambian breweries, but also access knowledge on good agricultural practices. We have packaged this information in our grower guide. It's just a simple, booklet in local language that will be able to guide you very well on how you are supposed to prepare your land and do the planting.
I hope you brought one for him.
I think I have a copy in the car.
Apart from selling to Zambian breweries, there are so many ways to keep learning how to grow cassava properly. John can join a cooperative near him and also get the Zambian Breweries Growers Booklet. And that's not all.
One of the ways through which we help farmers like yourselves to have access to these technical trainings is through SMSs.
Okay.
So we do have a system that we call BankU. It's an app we use for performing transactions. So what that app does is it keeps a database of all the farmers, your names, your NRCs, contact numbers and all that, and we're able to use that database to send you those technical trainings via SMSs in the local language.
Okay. Yes. When you are buying cassava, how many bags can you start to buy?
What we have noticed is that on average, the farmers around Luapula are supplying from about half a hectare.
Right.
Yeah, that's about 2 limas, and that is still far from what we're able to get annually. So if you are planning on planting 10 hectares, Mr. John, or 5 hectares, or whatever you can afford, I can assure you of that market with Zambian Breweries.
Okay.
Our farmer is now very happy. 2 of his biggest challenges in cassava have been addressed. But as Munda Make Over, we would like John to be more secure, especially as we deal with climate change. Last season, John experienced very heavy rains, which made most of the crops in the field to rot. For this season, he has adapted and has planted his crops on ridges. We have called Wila Nakazwe, Crop Husbandry Officer for Nchelenge District, to advise him on ways to help fight climate change. And she starts with the importance of John having different crops in his farm.
If we grow different types of crops, yes, it will be very easy for us.
Okay.
In case of the other crop doesn't do well. Like I can give an example. Last season, we experienced a prolonged dry spell.
Yes.
Whereby a lot of our farmers lost their maize.
Wow.
If at all we've planted sorghum, for instance, sorghum is a drought-resistant crop. Yes. At least we can get something from sorghum.
Of course.
Then if I can give another example, we also experienced floods. Yeah. So like if at all we planted rice, because rice is a very good crop which likes a lot of water. Yes. So we can get something from rice instead of losing everything.
Of course.
Yes.
In the face of the harsh realities of climate change, John should plant various crops so that if one type fails, the other can survive. For instance, you can grow maize, sorghum, and rice. Sorghum will prevail if there is low rainfall. Maize will survive with average rainfall, and rice will survive with excessive rain.
I want to know conservation farming.
Of course. John has been hearing how conservation agriculture can help in fighting climate change, and he wants to learn more. Conservation agriculture has 3 main principles: minimum tillage, crop rotation, and soil cover.
Yeah, minimum tillage, it's whereby you don't disturb the whole field.
Okay.
You just concentrate where you are about to plant what? Your crop.
I see. So we just dig where we're going to plant.
Yes.
Okay, and how does this help? Why is it beneficial?
1, you don't waste much of your time. 2, for example, if we don't receive rains for a week, that crop which is growing won't be affected.
I see.
Yes, because there's still moisture. Yes.
Okay.
Another major benefit of minimum tillage is also the way it improves the soil structure, and this helps how water spreads into the soil. Crop rotation and intercropping is the other principle of conservation agriculture.
John should grow different crops in the same land through the season. He should avoid growing the same crop year in, year out on the same piece of land. How is crop rotation beneficial for conservation agriculture?
1, crop rotation helps us to break the disease chain.
Right.
Whereby, for example, if I can talk about armyworms, if at all we plant any crop which is in the same family with maize, that crop will be also affected by armyworms.
I see.
Okay.
But if we plant a crop which is not in the same family with maize, it means that that crop won't be affected.
Because those pests will have nothing to eat.
To eat, yes.
I see. So pests go specific with certain types of crops.
Exactly.
So rotating, we make sure that we're not getting the pests from one harvest to another. I see. Crop rotation also helps to improve the fertility of the soil. Legumes are good to rotate with other crops as they fix nitrogen in the soil. So if this season you plant a crop that takes a lot of nitrogen like cereals, then the next season plant a legume to fix back the nitrogen, or plant the cereal together with the legume. The third principle is soil cover. John can do this by using remains of the previous harvest to cover his fields. It helps to keep the moisture in the soil for longer and prevent soil erosion. John can also do soil cover by planting a cover crop such as beans.
Advice from experts is so good to me. I would like Munda Make Over team to come back to my farm because they gave me more knowledge.
And finally, let's look at the weather.
Welcome to Munda Make Over, weather and farming news for Zambia. We expect dry conditions to continue across Zambia, with few areas getting good rains. Let's have a look at this week's weather. As shown on the map, rainfall exceeding 80 millimeters is anticipated in northern parts of Luapula and Muchinga provinces. This spans the districts of Mbala, Mpulungu, Mungwi, Kasama, Lunte, Nsama, Mporokoso, Luwingu, Lupososhi, Kaputa, and Chilubi in Northern Province. Chipili, Chifunavuli, Kawambwa, Nchelenge, Mwense, Chiengi, and Mwansabombwe in Luapula Province. And Nakonde, Isoka, Mafinga, Chinsali, and parts of Chama and Shiwangandu in Muchinga Province. Parts of Eastern Province, including districts such as Chasefu, Lundazi, Lumezi, and in Luapula, districts like Milengi, Chembe, Mansa, and Lunga, as well as Ikelengi in Northwestern Province, will receive rains between 40 to 60 millimeters. Additionally, most districts of Western, Northwestern, Copperbelt, Southern, Central, Lusaka, and parts of Eastern and Muchinga Province are likely to receive rains up to 40 millimeters. Tips for farmers. To cope in this dry period, ensure to practice conservation farming, which includes digging where you want to put your seed only and not the entire farm. Covering the soil with dry grass or leaves to help retain water in the soil and planting cover crops. If you have access to water for irrigation, consider planting early maturing maize varieties and other alternative crops such as early maturing legumes and vegetables to cope with the impacts of dry spells. Consider making silage from maize that has no chance of recovering to feed your livestock in this dry season. Scout your farm for pests and control them as soon as you spot them with the recommended pesticides. Report any unusual insects or crop diseases to the nearest agricultural office. If your area gets rain, collect water from your roof to your storage points such as tanks and drums. Ensure to clean your roof and gutters to get clean water. For further assistance and information, contact the nearest agricultural officer. See you next week.
Even though we've had such a great time and we know that we have to leave, it's always very, very difficult. Isn't that right, Pikacha?
It is. But guess what, my retired general? I have a surprise for you.
A surprise?
Yes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Smartphone, brand new.
Fantastic. You've been keeping secrets, Pikacha.
Of course. Mr. Moa, remember our story for the cassava and the diseases? And the expert spoke about the app. Therefore, the smartphone for your retired general.
Thank you,
Right, so that's all for this week, but we'll see you again next week
on another episode of Munda Make Over.
Thank you.